As the nurses told me, everything was going smoothly when suddenly I stopped breathing and my heart stopped, flatlined. Everyone in the surgery theater started moving quickly and the doctor was yelling instructions. For me, I was out of my body and above the room. I looked down and felt I was a large golden cloud moving through the ceiling. I looked up and saw a beautiful blue sky and felt a very, very old, timeless feeling. It was a great sensation. There was also the realization that I have been here before. I did not see anyone but felt the warmth of love around me. At this point, I could see 360 degrees and thought nothing of it. I also had this thought that everything down there was make-believe and everything up here was the real deal. I then had this feeling that I had to go back, and I did not want to, but then I suddenly was crammed back into my body, felt like I was being squished. I awoke in recovery with several nurses and doctors staring at me with startled looks on their faces. The only comment my doctor said was, "You gave us quite a scare." This second surgery, back, was a success. But something strange started happening. As I recovered at my place for 6 weeks, I started waking up at the exact same time every morning, 3:15 a.m. This was fine, but I kept having strong feelings that some presence was with me. I felt a strong presence over my shoulder when I walked around my apartment, when I walked down the sidewalk, or if I was shopping for groceries. This strong feeling was not fearful, but it felt like someone I knew, a dear old friend. The feeling became constant wherever I was. I finally decided to ask my doctor about this when I went for my 2 or 3 week checkup. During my appointment, I asked the doctor about this warm, friendly presence always around me. The doctor kind of rolled his eyes and said, "Don't worry." I pressed for more than a cursory pat on the head. The doctor finally said this condition normally disappears after the 6-week mark with people like you. I said, "So you've had patients mention what I'm experiencing?" He shrugged and said, "Yes." So for 3 to 4 more weeks, I awoke every morning at 3:15 a.m., and all through the day I would feel this warm presence over my shoulder. I did mark on my calendar when the 6 weeks was up. The feelings were getting stronger. On the final night of my 6-week recovery, I again awoke at 3:15 a.m. The only difference was it felt like there was a crowd of people in my front room. I know this sounds crazy, but it is 100% true. I limped out of my bedroom into the front room of my 1-bedroom apartment. I was still tired and said aloud to an empty room, "Is there anybody here? If so, give me a sign." At that precise moment, my stereo turned on full volume. And yes, I almost jumped out of my skin. I turned my stereo off and went back to bed. I was rattled. I fell into a deep sleep, and in the morning, the strong feeling of a presence was gone. I've tried to talk to friends and family about this over the years, but it is met with a smile or a chuckle. So I wonder aloud what it is. I read a few books on NDEs and surmise it did happen. This story was shared by Rick H. and happened in 1995.